Shout out to Antoine with the support. We back here live. Hopefully everybody get notifications. I don't know. It might be just a YouTube thing. The way the viewership is set up right now. Maybe people will file in eventually. This is actually going to be an extended conversation on a live stream that I did. Not live stream, a video I did today about the game responding to Chet Hanks in this situation. He basically said, "Listen, man, you're not prepared for that type of anger from black women. You might as well just go back to dating the white girls." And people have such an issue with it, man. But we gonna get into it, man. We gonna talk about it. But again, make sure y'all like the stream. I'm Jaye the Black, of course. Salute to everybody. We're back here live once again. Hopefully, y'all are, you've had a good, productive work week, and you're ready to unwind, so to speak. Right? But, this originally wasn't going to be a video originally. I was originally going to talk about this topic in live stream form. But I decided to make a video about it because of what the game said, and I just thought it'd be an interesting video topic. But let's see who's here. So shout out to the moderators, the channel members, the people who donate to me when I'm not live, who donate to the video content I put up. Shout out to everybody that support me monthly on Patreon. I will be putting up a new video soon. Because I know around this time every month, there's a lot of people that end up, unsubscribing from Patreon. If you have difficult financial situations, I completely understand that. If you're just there just to watch one video and leave, what was the point of you joining anyway? Because I'm going to be putting multiple upon multiple videos on there. So you're just going to join and leave. Like, come on. Let's see. True, Vern, Matt, Lando. 25 kid, sorry, I said Vern. Yeet, Gabrielle, Sydney, Garrison, Gabrielle, Greg, C Square, Vern 85, Genuine Trucker, Gerald, Lil Trill, Fred Beats, T Malone, Black Rain, David, Builders, Life, G, Mill, Fred Beats, Saliva, Studio, Mansion, JJ Diesel, Wanda, Pearson, Darth Vader, Falcon DS, what's up? Little Cupcake, was good. And also, when you remember, whenever I don't keep a live stream up, that live stream goes to the member section of the channel. I did a live stream recently, I think it was Wednesday, and I put that live stream for just the members of the channel. Heck of a live stream. All right. Now, that's good, see? Again, make sure y'all like the stream. Again, I spoke about this in a video today. And I know the first thing that I'm going to hear is from melanated women who have an issue with the commentary, of course. They're going to think that I am once again trashing them, or I'm keeping them from exploring their options. But we got to look at this situation. We got to look at it, man. Okay. You have a melanated woman, Kiana Parker's her name, and she says that this guy's been putting hands on her, but nobody wants to believe her. Did y'all also know that she had to put her comment section on private, or she had to take her comment section off her page? Because I believe there are a lot of those women who are going to her page, calling her a liar and abuser. Now, do I agree with her putting her hands on Chet? No, I said this once and I'm going to say it again. You women need to stop putting your hands on men. I don't care how mad you are. Well, thank you, Alpha Man. Appreciate that. Appreciate you joining. Hold on. I got some buffer in here. See if I can take care of it. Okay. A lot of people got to understand, and women of today, I told y'all, women are not afraid of men. They're not afraid of men whatsoever. It's good, Prince. William, Grayson, what's up? Women are not afraid of men. They're really not. A woman will be quick to put her hands on a man faster than she would a woman. No woman should be putting her hands on a man, period. Point blank. Because if that man put his hands on you, you're not going to like it. And with this Chet situation, hold on a second. And with this particular, Chet situation, I want people to understand that in this situation, she's put up with a lot from this guy. She said that he not only put hands on her in the hotel room, he said no one will believe her because she's a stupid, well, it's not stupid, she's a ghetto black bee. So you mean to tell me she put up with a guy that said that to her? Because I know that's not the first time. So we fast forward to now, he's putting her out of his house. And next thing you know, we see his face is bleeding. She's attacking him. She has a pot in her hand. And he says that she did that because he caught her stealing. When I looked at that TMZ video, it looked to me like it was a female who realized that she was being kicked to the curb. If this guy was such an abuser, why didn't you leave before? Is it because you put up with all that, him calling you a ghetto black bee, only for him to still kick you out of the house and you leave the relationship with nothing? I don't think I put that in the video. I want to reference that. Even though she was called a ghetto black bee, she stayed with him. What's good, Nivea? She stayed with him. These black women will put up with a lot when it comes to these IR relationships. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. I mean, the stories that we have heard. I mean, I have done 2 live streams. Well, specifically, it was one I did, right? And the girl talked about how she found out her boyfriend wanted to call her the N-word through his text messages to his friends. And then after that, she broke up with him. But you didn't see the red flags before? Y'all didn't talk politics. Y'all didn't talk anything that he felt this way? Come on, man. Y'all know this. Because let me tell you something. They're not going to tell you. But there's a lot of race play that go on in these relationships. And they know it's true. A lot is said. And a lot is and they get away with a lot. Those Caucasian guys or non-melanated guys, they get away with a lot when they're dating black women. Those black women will not allow black men to get away with those things. We know this. There's a lot of worship of Caucasian men. I mean, look at this platform. There's a lot of worshiping on this platform, people. Let's keep the lights coming in. There's a lot of worship that is going on this platform in regards to Caucasian men, black women, leveling up, not leveling up. To me, it is what it is. If you worship, just say you worship. Don't try to disguise it as you're leveling up, because we all know what that means. We all know what that means. A lot of these women that claim that they are divestors, they are divesting to a Caucasian man by any means necessary. And I also said in the video, there are a segment of black women who will not ever date a guy like Chet. Not one of these wiggers, not one of these guys that tries to be a wannabe. They are not going to check for that. If they're going to be dating out, they want a guy who's the opposite of the men that they are used to, not somebody trying to swagger jack, which is what Chet is. He's a swagger jacker. He's a swagger jacker. He's trying to be something that he's not. He didn't grow up this way. That's why I said that Tom Hanks is a failure as a father. Look at his son. You have a swagger jacking male, okay, who knows that. I mean, go look at his page. All you have to do is go look at Chet's page. Look at all the worship. Go to these blogs where they post about Chet. Look at all the worship. And these same women will probably be talking, you know, they will be on their page. You know, hold on. You know, I lost my train of thought. I was reading something. But go look at the comment sections. Go look at what is said about him. Okay? And it ain't just a situation of where they're attracted to him, right? They like his look, they like who he is, his personality, but that's not what it is, man. It's sickening, man. It's sickening. And they don't even want to believe his girlfriend or ex-girlfriend. They're not even taking her side. Now all of a sudden they're talking about, well, you know, men go through domestic situations with women. Where was all this when you see men get into these situations and then they're quick to blame the men, especially if the man is melanated, if the man is black? They're quick to point the finger at him and say, you know what, he must have done something. So when you're looking at this situation with Chet, it's a lot of worship going on with him simply because of his skin tone. And I'm telling you, some of these same women are probably pro-black. They're probably pan-African. I bet you right now they sit on their timelines talking about the system and the oppression and all the things they go through, but here they are worshiping this non-melanated man who is accused by this melanated woman of putting hands on her, calling her a ghetto black bee. But that doesn't matter to these females because his skin tone means more than any type of race loyalty, which they've never really had, by the way. At least not for a long time. That's what we have going on, man. And there's a price. When you're out here and you're worshiping these guys, it's a price to it. And these women are finding that out. How many stories do we hear of these melanated women getting hands put on them, being called names, being mistreated by their non-melanated partners? How many stories do we hear about it? Then they want to come running back to black people like, oh my God. And it's like they wouldn't go back. I bet you this female Kiana would probably go back to Chet if he wanted her back. She left that relationship with nothing. That's why he said that she was trying to steal from him. He caught her, and that's why she got violent with him. I think she got violent because she knew that the fairy tale was over. The fairy tale was over. This is why you don't date somebody because of their skin tone. I tell melanated men this all the time. I tell them, don't go worshiping these non-melanated women, because I see this go on too. I see a lot of these black males worshiping the ground that these Caucasian women walk on, acting as if they are the best and greatest alternative. And it's like, bro, a lot of these Western women are exactly the same. No one is better than the other right now. What are you talking about? Right, Devon. They were in the comment section worshiping this guy, saying that they would never treat him the way that his now ex-girlfriend treated him. I mean, it was sick. And I bet you some of those women have boyfriends. They probably got husbands. Well, what I would say is they have boyfriends that don't claim them. They probably have children, black children, like this Kiana Parker's ex-girlfriend. She had 2 twin daughters by another man, probably a black male, right? And she's allowing this man disrespect to call her names, and she says she put up with it until he put her out. Y'all got to understand, he put her out. That's why she was so hyped up, because he put her out, and she realized the fantasy was over. The fantasy was over. The worship is done. Maybe, I don't know, maybe the worship, I don't know if the worship ever goes away. Maybe the worship never goes away. But it was just disgusting, the comments that I seen from these females, man. Throwing themselves at a guy who's accused of calling your fellow black woman a ghetto black bee who nobody would believe. And they're in the comment section worshiping this guy. Tom Hanks's biggest failure. And they're worshiping this guy. It has to be a mental illness. I think mental illness has to be somewhere in there when you look at this situation. Because I want y'all to understand something. I don't talk a lot about IR dating. I don't care who's swirling and who's not. I don't care. Some of y'all care a lot more than I do. But I just thought this story was entertaining from the reactions. The reactions to it was very telling. Was very telling. And it was interesting how all of a sudden you have women that now believe that, you know what, women can commit domestic situations, be in domestic situations and, be violent with their partners. They would not say that when it comes to black men. We have to have evidence, all this. Now, again, it was caught on video. The guy was, his face was, again, I don't agree with none of that. I don't agree with none of that. But again, you have a woman who's claiming she was, a victim of a situation that Saweetie was never really in. But you see the reactions that Saweetie got from the reaction. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's different situations, but you have a woman here, the ex-girlfriend of Chet, saying that she was a survivor of domestic disputes with him. And you got a lot of these women that still don't care. That's why this woman had to shut her comment section down, because she was getting probably getting harassed by women who look like her. Well, Sheba, that's sad. But that's just a weird society that we are in right now. It's a society of worshiping people for their skin, you know? All right, make sure y'all like the stream. I don't know what's going on with YouTube today. But anyway, hold on a second. All right. I want people to understand something. All right. We are in a society now that is all about I want to say, mirroring. I think we're mirroring. There's a lot of mirroring behavior. You have white males that may mirror black males, right? You got white females that may mirror black females in a sense, right? We're in a mirroring society. I would never understand why one of these melanated women will go out of their way to date somebody of another race who tries to act just like the men of her ethnic group. I would think that if you're dating out of your racial group, that you would do it because you want to date somebody who's the polar opposite. But I guess because you can't get that, you go to the next best thing. That's what it has to be. Like if I'm from an all black neighborhood and I'm used to dating a certain type of black female, if I'm going to date outside my race, why would I date a Caucasian female who tries to speak, look, dress the same way that the women from, my community did? Like, what's the point of that? I'll be dating somebody who's literally trying to mirror the actions of the women that I used to be around. I'm not even around them anymore. So we have a lot of mirroring going on in our society. I think because a lot of these males grow up, they have no male leadership. They don't look up to anybody except for rappers, right? So they want to emulate that growing up. And maybe that's the situation with Chet. He want to grow up and, be like the rappers he listened to. When I talk about fathering your sons, you can be rich and successful and still not be a father to your sons. Who want to go off and do whatever, right? Now, I want to talk to melanated women. What do you get out of throwing yourself at a guy who's trying to be like the men from your community? Like, what do you get out of that? What do you get out of trying to date men who act like the men in your community? What's the point of dating out if you're just going to date a carbon copy of the men that you're used to? Are you that desperate? Maybe they are. Maybe they are very desperate because they realize that for the most part, those guys that they want aren't going to be checking for them. But if those guys that sort of around black people, they have black friends, might have a mixed kid, right? That it may be easier to get with them. But then what? Do you know how much struggle dating I've heard from these mixed couples? A lot of struggle dating. A lot of struggle dating going on in these interracial relationships, especially with Caucasian men and black women. So it's struggle love is okay in those situations, but two black people getting together, you know, that's struggle love. I just will never understand that. Shout out to Jaye. Where is divested community and all the protect black women people at on this? They're somewhere still trying to blame black men for this. You see, they don't know how to place the accountability where it should be. They don't know how to do that. They don't know how to. They really don't know how to look at the situation and assess that as that's wrong because they're so deep in to the worship. Hold on. And they don't want to admit that they're wrong. This is why you will have a female be in a relationship with a Caucasian guy. And he do all manners of things to abuse her, either verbally or physically, and they will stay in that relationship because they don't want people to think that it was a failure. And they don't want to leave the fantasy because they're stuck in a fantasy world. A lot of these females are stuck in a fantasy world, man. They are. And men like me have to bring them back down to earth because they are delusional. They are single. They are bitter. They're angry. They bring no value to anybody right now. And they're mad about that. I want y'all to understand something, man. I have absolutely nothing against people dating who they want to date. If you're just attracted to somebody and they don't look like you, they're not from your community and you want to date them, that's your choice. I'm not trying to judge any of you. Despite what y'all may believe of me, I'm not a very judgmental person at all. Because at the end of the day, people have to live their life. People have to live their life, and I can't be sitting here trying to judge anybody how they live their life. I only look at the actions and the causes and effects of it and how it could affect the future. But I am not here to judge any of you. Shout out to Jaye again. Says he will get a new black woman to abuse next week. He probably already has one. As thirsty as those females were, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't already have one now. As thirsty as I've seen him. But again, I want y'all to get that I'm not a judgmental person. I'm not here to tell you how to live your life. You can date who you want to date. I just hope you find happiness. Because there's a lot of unhappy, bitter women on social media. I mean, all you have to do is look at YouTube. These heifers are hurt. These heifers are in their fields. They're bitter. They want somebody to blame for why they are constantly single. And they say, well, we're going to divest and level up. You don't even know how to talk to men who are perceived to have higher value. You don't even know how to talk to a guy who's successful, no matter what racial group he is. So what are you going to divest from? You're going to end up with the same men you've always been with. And unfortunately, the older generation of women are selling you dreams. They're not being honest with you. They're really not. I just wish a lot of these younger women, especially these Gen Zers and these millennials, you understand that a lot of these women, especially Gen X women, they don't have your best interests at heart. These women are bitter and they are angry at the world because they done been in the streets for years and they ain't found anything solid. They think they're going to be attractive forever and don't understand that they're going to have to compete. And they don't like the fact they have to compete, which is why they're running to social media to try to attack men who have a difference of opinion, men who are waking up people. They don't like that. They're fighting against it because they realize that the whole 40 some odd years on earth has been a failure. They realize the last 40 some odd years have been a failure. And I don't care if you still, are attractive or you have a nice body. You're still going to be going home to an empty bed with your wine and whatever. That's all you're going to have. Because you have allowed yourself to buy into the propaganda, to buy into the BS that you shouldn't settle. You can date all these different dysfunctional men and it's not going to mentally affect you when it actually does. You know that guy is dysfunctional, but you ignore the warning signs because you like a dude with swagger. So a lot of y'all are going to be hurt, emotional. You're going to be so reliant on your sisterhood that you don't even believe in to make excuses for you. But we ain't making excuses no more. We ain't making no excuses no more for y'all. Nobody's making excuses for you anymore. Do you know how many women I'm seeing talking about what is this of value and that of value? Why don't you value your own self? Shout out to iFames. Or lay with their sons at a... I would hope not. What's good, David? I see you. A lot of you women are going to be lonely. You're going to spend this weekend by yourself, even though you look good. Even though you're 40 in your early to mid 40s, you're still out here looking good. You can still post some thirst traps. You got, contacts with all types of men, but at the end of the day, you're not with any of them. Because you still believe in the back of your mind you can do better than this. Well, I'm sorry, you can't do better than that. That's the best you're going to do. Okay, Mr. Perfect is not walking through that door. You think that by hopping the fence it's going to change anything? It's not going to change anything because you're going to actually actually settle. I have seen a lot of these chicks, especially a lot of these melanated women, they hop over the fence. They're settling. Yes, they are. They are settling. And they think that we're hurt and mad about that. No, we're laughing about that because you actually thought you could do better, but you end up doing worse. That's why these women need to get their minds right before they get left behind. Because again, these younger women are coming at you, man. These younger women are coming for the men that y'all want. So what y'all gonna do when those men are preoccupied? Are you gonna get on social media and continue to complain and try to shame these guys? These women will be all in the streets till they about in their mid to late 40s, and then they think that now is the right time to choose to date a guy their age, right? Or settle down with a guy their age. Then they realize that guy don't want to be with them because he feels like they're set in their ways. And a lot of those women are set in their ways. They're not about really learning anything new, even though they're not as smart as they think they are. A lot of you women think you're smarter than you think you are, and you really not. Truth be told. I've heard some of your conversations. This is why I can't really watch female content creators like that, because they're not that intelligent. I don't care how many degrees they have. They're not that intelligent. They're not really saying anything. They're not. A lot of you females are not as smart as you think you are. A lot of y'all are out here doing bad. A lot of y'all are down really bad. I don't care what you try to put out there as a front, but there's more women than men. So at the end of the day, you play around, you play games, you're going to get left behind. Because there are other women out here who are going to get that attention, and they're going to get the men that you want. And no matter how much shaming you do, it's not going to work. It's really not going to work. Now, again, if you like dating outside of your race, go do that. I'm not here to tell y'all not to date outside your race if that's what you want to do. But when y'all worship these guys and put them on a pedestal because you think they're going to rescue you, you have another thing coming. They're not coming to the rescue. They're not coming to the rescue. You are delusional. You are losing. You're not going anywhere. Your life sucks. You spend weekends alone, drinking wine, watching reality TV, and complaining about men on social media, even though you claim you have all these options. Well, none of those options are dicking you down this weekend. None of those options you can call your boyfriend. And if you are dating some of those guys that you have contact info from, you're trying to be careful because you don't want him to ghost you. Get your mind right. Get your spirit right. Learn how to intellectually connect instead of putting your bodies out there. Because us as men who actually want somebody long term, you're going to need more than your body. If a man wants a side piece or a jump off, your body matters. Yes, the way you look may matter, but for somebody long term, you got to have more than that. And I notice in the melanated community with these females, they don't have that. They're out here, they're taking a whole lot of losses. A whole lot of losses. And they want to blame us for taking those losses. This woman claims Chet Hanks' ex-girlfriend claims she's getting smacked around in a relationship, but she's the one getting put out the house. She's the one getting put out the house, even though she's claiming that he's putting hands on her. That's an L. And you a single mother of 2 black daughters. What are you teaching your daughters? To put up with what a man does as long as he's white? What's good, Ms. Lakers? That's what you're teaching your daughters, to put up with anything as long as they're white? Because I'm pretty sure you wouldn't put up with that if the guy was black. If you are a single mother, you definitely need to be careful the type of men that you bring into your life. But a lot of y'all don't care because you are thirsty to be with somebody because they're white or because you claim they have swag. I've never in my life ever seen and I'm not talking about Chet in this situation, but in general, I've never seen in my life so many women date these quote unquote men with swagger, but they all broke. How? How in the world? How? That's what we trying to figure out here. How all these men with swag all broke? It's amazing what goes on in our society. You are responsible for your situation. Every single day you need to look yourself in the mirror, maybe not every day, but as much as possible, and say, you know what, how can I improve my situation? I'm sorry, ladies. Just because you think that you look good or you have a nice body, you can draw men in that's the end all be all. That's not enough. That is not enough. You think that your box, once again, is going to draw them in, and that's just not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough. I need to know that you're not crazy. I need to know that you don't have mental issues. I need to know that you're willing to accept male leadership in your life. And if you're not, then I can't deal with you. I can't deal with no woman who wants to control and have control over a relationship, especially if I am successful and I work hard and I built a life for myself as a man. But nowadays, women are like, you know what? I'll work and let the man stay home. I want to control the relationship. And then you wonder why he's cheating on you all the time. You wonder why he's insecure, because you brought an insecure energy into your life. Once a woman accepts a guy for being less than socially, economically, mentally, she's accepting those energies into her life that could potentially destroy her. But because she's so desperate to have control, she will overlook those things. Shout out to Michael Hayes, supporting the channel. You always give good content. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate it, man. Like, what, listen, I could never in my life see myself in a situation where a woman is telling me what to do and how to act, or threatening to kick me out of the house. Because one, it'll be my house that she is in. And two, I would never let no woman have that type of control over me. I'm a man. At the end of the day, if stuff needs to get done, you're going to come to me. You're going to come to me. Now, you want to seem like you're in control, but at the end of the day, when stuff needs to get done, you're going to come to me. You're going to need me. You're going to need that male presence, right? But women want this whole, they want to believe now, especially these modern women, they want to believe they're in control. Then you wonder why these men are not faithful. They don't really care about you like that. They just use you because you put yourself in a situation to be used. You're a trick. You're a trick. Then you wonder why you having all these issues with men. You got women who literally will date a man just because they are attracted to him. Doesn't matter what's going on in his mind. As long as they are attracted to him and they can control that relationship, they don't care. Now, again, I understand things happen. You're in a relationship with somebody, the financial situation may become unbalanced. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you dealing with a guy who's in and out of jail, who is in arrears for child support, with multiple children, not one, not maybe two through a relationship or marriage. I'm talking about a guy who's out here super spreading. He's super spreading his seed throughout the city. I'm talking about that type of guy. Because we all know that there are women who will say they don't want to date a guy who can't get other women. But you just magically expect all those women to go away because he's with you? A domineering woman who tells him that it's better for him to stay home while she works, or she doesn't encourage him to do any better? This is the dynamic in the melanated community, man. This is why every business in the melanated community is ran by foreigners. Because there's really no men, there's just a bunch of males and a bunch of people visiting, a bunch of women and children. So we got to look at sort of like the ramifications of years and years of single parent households and men just roaming, right? And you got these kids that grew up without two parents. They become adults and they become parents, and they never really learn how to truly grow and progress, right? We all have that uphill battle we have to fight in life. We have challenges that we have to face. And those challenges, for the most part, it can either make us stronger or it make us weak beyond repair. But there's a lot of dysfunction that's going on, man. It's a lot of dysfunction that's going on. And I think that it's good that more men and some women are noticing it as well. But yeah, man, we got a lot going on, man. We have a lot going on. And I think that for the most part, we as a society, we have to learn how to not fall into these traps that they have set for us. You know, they've set traps for women. Like you got girls. I put it on my community tab. On my members only community tab. And I put what is it, Benzino's daughter, Coy Lecrae, and she posted pictures of herself, and she was talking about people are mad because she's posting her body a certain way and she's twerking. And it's almost like there are these young girls that are falling into this trap. Like you got Bad Baby, the Cash from Outside girl. She just turned 18. So and now she's on OnlyFans, claims to have made $1 million in a day on OnlyFans. I bet you she got a lot of these grown ass men in those DMs. I bet you there's a lot of grown ass men in those DMs trying to sleep with her now because they're like, okay, we can flirt with her now. You can flirt with her now. And these young girls are falling into those traps, man. You got these males, they fall into the trap of trying to be like these rappers. Dress like them, act like them, do drugs like them. Trying to follow that same career. There's like 1 in a million chance that you're going to be a successful rapper. I would rather follow a route that is less traveled. And I did because I want to be different. I've always wanted to be different. I hate doing what everybody else is doing. It's so boring to be in a world where you go to work and you come home, or you have this hobby and that, instead of creating a lane for myself that few ever do. But that's just me. I'm a roaming samurai, man. I like to just walk my own path, man. I've always strived to do something that is different, but will keep me out of shit. Okay? That will keep me out of problems. Because you definitely want to stay out of problems. But I always sought to go the different route than everybody else. I've always been that way. I've always wanted to be different. Everybody does the same thing. It's boring. Do something that's exciting. Something that you just, when you do things, especially like this, you get to get on here and you get to go in. You get to create something. You get to be a part of the discussion, the conversation. And you get to talk to people that you've never met before. You're able to influence people. Right? Samurai Jaye sounds like an awesome anime. I'd watch it. I'm telling you, man. I'm gonna make some t-shirts with that. I mean, Mr. Pennant, that is true, depending on what city you in. But I mean, everybody want to be a rapper or a singer. I want to make content. I want to be able to do different things. I want to be able to make t-shirts with my name on it. You know? I seek to be different because I believe in the power of choice. I believe in the power of choosing your own path that's going to put you in the best position to be successful. And that goes with anything. It could be your career. It could be your relationships. Some of you are probably in relationships that you would love to get away from, but you feel stuck. The one thing I would tell you is, does it really benefit you? Who are you doing it for? Because what's going to happen is, if you're in a relationship with somebody and you really don't love them, it's going to show in some way, shape, or form. It really is. I would rather seek happiness. I would never want to be around people that made me unhappy. Like, you may be in a relationship or married to somebody and you might like that person genuinely. You ain't got no problems with them, but you just don't want to be with them like that. You know, we all get into those situations. That's why I choose to be solo. That's why I choose to follow my path and do something different. You know, it's easy to say, well, relationship, man. No, let's do something different. Let's find new paths to happiness. Find new paths to being able to choose who we want to be and who we want to be with, who we want to spend our time with without wasting it. Because I wouldn't want to waste my time being unhappy. Wouldn't want to waste my time around people that didn't make me happy. And you know what, Mr. Pennant, that is true. People do settle because they don't want to be alone, and that's sad. Because we only got one life to live, and you got to ask yourself: are you living it to the best of your abilities? Are you living your life to the best of your abilities? Are you enjoying things, or is there somebody that you enjoy? Right? Is there like that one person you think about every day, and you just enjoy them? Maybe you know them. Maybe you interact with them. Person that puts us in that happy place. No matter what's going on in our lives, man, we all know that there's going to be something that makes us happy. It may not even be a person. It might be something, you know. I'm about finding happiness. There's just way too many bitter people out here. I mean, look at YouTube. My God. I mean, look at the bitterness from the heifers. And they wonder why no man wants to commit to them. And if they are in a relationship, it's a situation. It's not a real relationship. Because one, they're very detached from men. A lot of you melanated women are detached from melanated men. So in a relationship you get into is already sabotaged. You know. But in doing that, you're going to be alone in that relationship. It's not worth it. That's what I'm saying, Ms. Lakers. You're going to be alone. You're going to be alone. And would you want to be in that situation? Oh man, shout out to Alpha Wiz with the 125. I just hit 50,000 saved. Thanks for the content. Everybody is laughing at you. Appreciate it, Alpha Wiz. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to getting to that goal. And I appreciate the support, Alpha Wiz. Alpha Wiz, you supported before, so shout out to you, man. All right. Shout out to Shane. Okay. Life is too short to be around folks who don't give a flip about, and vice versa. Period. Appreciate that, Shane. Absolutely. Absolutely. Man, listen, man. I'm not about to spend my time draining my life from me by being around people that I feel like don't love me. I'm going to change my situation. You see, me, I don't have to change anything right now because I'm not around anybody that makes me unhappy. I don't mix energy with people that makes me unhappy. It's going to be you either choosing yourself or being with somebody that you enjoy being with. All right. Shout out to Wanda, Maxima. Happy Good Friday, Jay. Happy Easter in advance. Keep preaching the truth. Taking care of my late tax. Well, thank you, Wanda. I appreciate you for your support with the late fee. Thank you. Shout out to Wanda, man. Shout out to Wanda. Y'all want to send people into the weekend on a positive note. I know that people are going to look at this topic and they're going to chuckle, but I just want people to seriously look at the fact that there's a lot of worship for what they perceive to be better. You perceive somebody to be better because of their skin tone or because who you think they are. People play roles. Women are very good at playing roles. Women are very good at portraying themselves one way, but they are something else. And I think us as men, we follow that. We look at what you're putting out here and we try to reciprocate that. And then it ends up backfiring because that's not exactly the message that she wants to get across. But a lot of women, again, they just want to be themselves. But they need to understand that you can't be out here worshiping people like this. I would hope that women would be themselves. I think I've said this for years. I want women to be who they are. I don't want them to try to portray themselves as who they think I want them to be. I want them to be who they are because I appreciate people if I know who they are. If I don't know who you are, how can I appreciate you? How can I know you? Just like you would want to know me, I would want to know you and what you are like. And if you're just giving me this facade, this mask, then how am I gonna know you? There's not gonna be a connection there. There's gonna be nothingness there. Shout out to Shy 87. Chad Wheeler, unfortunately, is an example of worship. Again, that's a situation I believe was similar to this in the sense of there may have been abuse going on throughout that relationship, and she stayed because he was white. She stayed because he was white. And the fact that there were a lot of melanated women who tried to ignore this story of Chad Wheeler, act like it ain't no big deal, it shows you. You see, I'm a methodical person when it comes to getting to know people. It may take me days, weeks, months. It might take years. It might take years. But that's just me. I'm a methodical person. I want to know every aspect of a person. That's just how I've always been. I've always been the one to ask questions and to get to know you on a mental level because I don't want you to try to put on a mask for me. When you're around me, you're going to take that mask off. Shout out to Saliva. Jay, true be told, unfortunately, in the view of a lot of black people, white are viewed as more trustworthy, easier to deal with, and less drama. Most will never admit it, but actions speak. Listen, Saliva, I agree with that. I've seen that. I've seen how black people say white people are easier to be around. They're easier to be in a relationship with. I hear these males say that. I hear these black males say this all the time, how white women are easier to deal with. Right? And they might be. But that's not every situation. That's just not. You have to choose somebody that, again, I tell these guys this and they don't want to hear this. You need to choose people who want to be around you. A lot of these guys are choosing people who don't want to be around them like that. A lot of you guys are choosing people that don't want to be around you like that. You think that by your money or your status, that's going to keep that woman around and her respect level for you. No. You can't finesse your way financially into a woman respecting you unless she comes to you with respect. If a woman comes to you respectfully, humble, she is embracing your male energy, that's a different situation. But if you're out here chasing women who don't want you like that, you're gonna look like a fool. You're gonna look like a fool. You're gonna look like a fool. I just hope people understand that. You can never look at somebody, you can never judge a book by its cover. That is very true. Because somebody may be cool and pleasant, but you get to know them more, you see another side of them. That's why you do have to take your time to really get to know people before you can actually think of ever trusting them. A lot of y'all fall in love and want to trust quickly, and then it falls apart. It's ruined forever. Okay, Jared, cool, appreciate it. Miss Lakers, it don't fit the narrative. It don't fit the narrative because they know that they know that these melanated women worship these Caucasian men. They know this. Not all, but there are a segment of them that do. All you have to do is go to Chet Hanks's Instagram or go to posts where they put him up on posts. Look at the worship in the comment section. Look at the worship. It's right there. And they have no shame at all. I see you, Charm. What's up? They have no shame whatsoever. It's crazy. This worship needs to stop, people. What are you doing? If you were interested in a female, you saw her and her like all over, Chet Hanks, or these other guys like them. I know that would have to make your that would definitely cause major confusion in you because you feel like you're doing all these things, you're being respectful, you think you're the guy that she wants, and then you realize she's out here worshiping this guy who literally has no career, who lives off mommy and daddy. Okay? Basically. And you see these women are worshiping this guy. What does that tell you? I'm telling you, I bet some of these guys' wives and some of these guys' wives and girlfriends are all on those pages worshiping Chet, and and even when they post these couples, with these black female celebrities with these Caucasian guys, you look at the comment section, it's full of just thirst. It shows you a lot of their mindset. But I just want y'all to know what's going on out here, man. Listen, date who you want, love who you want. Love is love. Love is love, right? That's what they would tell you. They will tell you that love is love. Y'all want to go see that video I did today? Let's see. Hold on. There it is right there. Shout out to everybody that's here, man. Yeah, we do. Listen, there's a lot of situations I notice. There's a lot of situations I notice where, these melanated women are getting hands put on them by these Caucasian guys. This is why I say y'all look crazy out here worshiping these guys. You look crazy. Y'all look crazy trying to worship these guys, man. Y'all out here getting treated like garbage. Chad Willard basically tried to end his girlfriend's life and went to eat. They don't care. You got... And listen, I'm not here to say that when you date somebody of another race, it's going to be problems like that. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is it's out there. And what's funny is that the women are putting the information out here. When I did the live stream about the girl claiming that her boyfriend wanted to call her the N-word, she put that out here. I didn't go digging for that. She put that out here. So I just hope that women understand, no matter what a guy's skin tone is, if his mind isn't into you and you ain't into him, it ain't gonna work. And if you're into that guy for the wrong reasons, it's gonna end disaster. It's gonna be a disaster. A lot of these women date these men for the wrong reasons, and those relationships fall completely apart. Stop dating men for the wrong reasons. You won't run into these problems. I don't care who you go and date, but don't get on social media and then want to complain and throw your black fist up in the air and talk about how pro-black you are when you find out the person that you've been sleeping with is a racist. And now you want to run back to black people talking about help me. And you got all these melanated simps flying in with their cape on trying to save the day. Look at Stacey Dash. She had no interest in dating melanated men whatsoever. None. And look at her now. Now all of a sudden she wants to open up those dating options. Why? Is it because you realize that your grifting as a conservative for white men was over? These women get older, and look who direction they looking in. Look at who direction they looking in. They're looking in your direction, black man. You are out. That we are here to save these women from themselves, and we need to stop that. Let them continue to live their best life, being curved, being clowned, being embarrassed. Let them do them. Don't fly in with the cape on. Bro, what are you going to do at the end of the day? What are you going to do, sir? My thoughts exactly. Shout out to everybody that's here. I appreciate it. Salute to everybody. Thank you for the super chats and everybody that donated and contribute to the stream on this Friday. Hopefully everybody is doing well and will do well. All right. And make sure y'all go and check out the videos. I uploaded 2 videos today. You can go to my Jada Black community tab and you'll see all the video posts that I have there. The email is open for you to send me content to do videos on. Or you can send it to me through Instagram. I don't really read my Facebook messages unless I know of you. And we spoken like that because the way the message is set up, man, it's clunky. But yeah, you want to send me stuff, go to the email. You can send it to me through Instagram. You can tag me on Twitter or sign up to the Patreon if you haven't. I post regular content each week there. New content, ad-free content. There was some bozo complaining about ads in the video recently. I don't put free content up on YouTube. That's a waste of time. I've been doing this for almost 7 years. Well, about 7 years. So I don't put up free content on YouTube. If you want free content, you go to the Patreon, $5 a month or more, and you can watch the video content I'm putting up there. Okay? All right, people. Thank you for being a part of the stream today. Like it again, share it, and I'll see y'all on the next live show. All right, y'all take care.